Well, from the food to the kitchen, it's important to many homeowners that their living space is welcoming and inviting. Granite Transformations can help with that by remodeling any kitchen or bathroom just in time for the holidays. And here to explain more is owner Chris Barr. Welcome.
Thanks. Nice to be back.
All right. Glad to have you back on the show. So, a lot of people talk about their products are high quality, but how do we really know?
Well, you're right. Everybody says that. The thing is, you just have to ask some questions. Because this is really verifiable stuff, You start with what's the reputation of the company that you're working with, the manufacturer.
Sure.
How long have they been in business? How long have they been in this market? For us, that's 15 years, which is a long time in the construction business. Are they certified in various things? Are they Green Guard certified? Or do they belong to the U.S. Green Building Council? That kind of stuff. And you ask for references. That's important. A good company is going to be able to give you 10 or 20 references from actual customers who live in your area, your part of, of this market.
Right.
And you should call a couple of them. They may ask you if you want to come see their kitchens, that kind of stuff. And also ask about the warranty. Do they have one? How long is it? Ours is lifetime, which is pretty unusual. Who stands behind it? In our case, it's not only us with our history in this market, but it's the parent company who has 150 of these stores around the world.
Sure.
Which makes a difference. And in construction, it makes a big difference because in this business, a lot of people go in and out from year to year. And does it cover materials and labor, which may all of a sudden be an issue, 5 or 10 years down the road. And is it made in the United States? Not only because we want to support American businesses, but because it reduces the carbon footprint of your project if you're not having to ship things from overseas.
Oh, interesting.
And in our business, there's a lot of well-known manufacturers whose product is made in other parts of the world.
Very interesting. My mom always said that the dumbest question was the one not asked. Right. So speaking of asking, people talk about remodeling, and it just seems like this big deal. It's time-consuming. It's costly. What can you do to dampen that pain, Chris?
Super good question. Because what you want to try and do is reduce the stress, reduce the mess, reduce the downtime. Right. Because those are the things that people end up hating about going through any kind of a remodel. And again, you're going to ask questions. How long is my kitchen going to be unusable? Okay. In our case, because we do all of the fabrication work in our own shop, the answer to that question is 1 day. Wow. And there's nobody else who can say that. Yeah. We're going to, and that includes replacing the sink and doing the plumbing and the whole thing by the time we leave at night. It's less messy because all the dust and stuff happens at our shop. So your house isn't going to have to be tented, and all of that. But you really can reduce the stress attached to this project.
All right, so speaking of materials, what have you brought with you today to show us?
Well, I totally changed this plan this morning. Okay. I always tell customers to trust their instincts. The creative part of this is what scares people, or at least scares some people. And they see 50 options and they like 20 of them and they really just don't know what to do. So I had a customer in the showroom this morning and I simply brought the stuff that I was talking to her about. She and her husband had selected this earlier in the week when they bought, when they signed the contract. Right. This is called Portland White. It's a quartz and recycled glass product that looks like concrete. It's that kind of a look. Right. And they matched it with a backsplash that's made of hand-cut glass. Called Metropolis Buxy. And they loved the contrast and they loved the style of it. And 2 days later, they were like, they had remorse. It's so bold, and when you walk in the kitchen, you're going to just be drawn to it, and they weren't sure that's what they wanted. So they came into the showroom, and the first thing they did was think, well, let's keep Buxy because we like it, but we'll match it with a granite color that's more in the same palette. So it's not so much contrast. But they didn't like that at all, because this is really what they liked originally. Yeah. So then we began to look at other things to do with that. This is a different glass that's not quite as bold and dramatic. And they liked the glass, but this was maybe too shiny. Sure. So we moved away from that. And so they stayed with glass, but they went to bigger subway glass. And they decided that that the tiles were too big for the smaller spaces in their backsplash. So we moved away from that.
Gosh. Look at all this work, Chris.
Well, actually, it's a ton of fun. Yeah. And so we went to the ceramic tiles, away from glass. And this they particularly liked. It matches well. The colors blend. And they decided maybe it blended too well. Yeah. There wasn't enough of a statement there. And maybe not enough of an ability to match other things in the kitchen. Sure. So where they ended up is with a ceramic tile that has the gray, but also picks up enough brown that they can do their cabinets and their flooring and stuff to pull it together. And all I did was show her stuff, and she trusted her own instincts to get to that. And it's going to be beautiful.
All right, so there is the website, right? You have special offers. What is your special offer?
For you guys, if they call and say, I saw you on Sac & Co., they get a completely free kitchen sink when we put in their countertops.
Nice. And a website, contact info?
Yep, all those things. We have a phone number, we have a showroom in Rancho Cordova, and we're going to send a design consultant out to see you and bring all these samples with them.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris Barr.